Hi, fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and this is episode 57 of the airflow and pressure differential comparison of 120 millimeter fans. We're getting closer and closer to the end, although I still have one, two, three, four, five, six. I think I have 7 more 120 millimeter fans that I haven't done reviews for at all. Some of which I just got in this week. Silverstone sent me a bunch of their fans from 60 millimeters up to 140. So that should be interesting. Yeah, but anyways, back to the topic. Sorry. First of all, please remember this is my anemometer or airflow meter, and it has 4 decimal places. I calibrated against the Noctua A12 by 25, but because it doesn't have 5 decimal places, there's a distortion that appears at some point in the readings. The lower readings are probably accurate, but the really high readings are probably not. I'm not a mathematician, so I have no way to figure out how much the distortion is and where it starts and what the equation is to fix the results. Nor can I afford to buy a better anemometer since, well, I've got one Patreon patron. Rudik, thank you for your continuing support. And nobody else seems to be stepping up to the plate to help me. Maybe you think I'm lying to you. Well, I guess when I stop broadcasting, if I get evicted, you'll know I wasn't lying to you. But maybe it's just because of the changes the current president has made that has caused a lot of problems for a lot of people, a lot of financial instability. Or maybe people just don't care because my channel isn't interesting enough, or I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to dwell on that. Also, I use cubic meters per hour, not cubic feet per minute. I'm trying to push America into the current millennium because, gosh, we've stuck with imperial long enough. Almost no other countries use it except for the UK, which is also arrogant and stuck in the old ways. Okay. Woo. I'm going to step in hot water talking about that if I carry on. That's the bad news. The good news is that despite the distortion, I can still use the airflow results to rank the fans. So, yeah. The fans are the MSI Mag F120 ARGB, the Rise Mode Wind W1, and this is the blue LED one, or Azul, the Kingwin CF-012LB from the Advanced series, not the same as the other one that usually pops up at the very top of the list as one of the worst fans, but from the same series. The Camaflow 2 Super Silent, which is a 900 RPM version. I don't think I have any other Camaflows. And the SiLenx Ixtrema Pro Series Quiet Fan, or IXP-74-14G. So I'm going to put up the results of the RPM tests so that you can take a look at that information, as well as looking at the bearing type for each fan and pictures of each fan, paying attention to the frame design, if there is a grill or a screen on it, the distance between the blades side to side, not front to back, the diameter of the hub, the blade designs, and so on, and see if you can figure out which fan has the worst airflow and which has the best, and which has the worst pressure differential and which has the best. Put that information down below. This is not a competition, so please save it and don't change it. You're not going to get any points for getting it right. And if you change it, I'll know. So just participate for the sake of you being able to identify good fans on your own in the future. Now, are you ready? Okay. There is the RPM results. So I want you to look at this information, look at pictures, look at the bearing types, and put your comments down below. I'm going to ask you to pause this so you can put those comments in. The Scythe is the slowest at only 1,000, although it was rated at 900. The Kingwin was rated at 950 and came in at 1060. The Rise Mode was rated at 1,500. The first time I tested it months and months ago, it came in at 1270, but this time I let it sit for a while and it eventually got up to 1310. That's because the bearings are not good. The MSI mag was rated at 1300, but it got all the way up to 1340. The SiLenx, and I let that one sit for a while too, because I was like, why? This is a new fan. Why is it so slow? It was rated at 1400 and came in at 1450. So go ahead and pause, put in your guesses, and we'll continue to the airflow results. And if you thought that the Scythe would be the worst for airflow, you are correct at 96.6 CMHs. The Kingwin was a little bit better at 110.4, not very significant. The rise mode was a little bit better, 125.4, also not very significant. The MSI was not significantly better than the rise mode at only 128.4. The SiLenx definitely was the best of the bunch at 182.4. So let's go ahead and take a look at the pressure differential results. And this time it was the rise mode that was the worst at only 67 degrees. The Scythe not significantly better at only 68. The Kingwin not significantly better at 70. The MSI not significantly better at 72. The SiLenx was significantly better at 77. Now, not hugely better, but significant, especially when compared to the rise mode. So we're going to take a look at the complete fan list so that we can see how each of these fans stack up with the 270 or so other results that we've got. Now, this is currently sorted by RPMs. RPMs are not the most important specification for fans. They do have influence on other specifications, especially noise, but even noise can be moderated through changes to the design of the fan itself. So we see right away that the Scythe and Kingwin are in the first quartile as the slowest fans, along with the rise mode and MSI. In fact, all 5 of them are in the bottom quartile. So we don't even need to go farther to see where the rest of them are, because they're all right there in the first quartile. Wow, okay. Well, let's see if there's anything better for pressure differential, and I guarantee you there will be. And here we can see, like I said, the Kingwin, the other Kingwin is right there. But this Kingwin, today's Kingwin, is not there. It's not even in the first quartile, which ends right about there. So we should potentially see it in the, there is the rise mode, but not the Kingwin. Okay, so that's impressive. Now, I'm sorry, let me slide this over so it's less confusing for you. So the rise mode and the Scythe are both, I'm sorry, the rise mode and the Scythe are the only ones in the second quartile, I believe. The Kingwin is now in the third quartile along with the MSI. And we have, well, let's see here. Yep, only the Scythe is in the fourth quartile. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to resort this on airflow now. Where are they going to fall? Well, the Scythe and the Kingwin are in the first quartile quite firmly. This time the Kingwin is much closer to its cousin, these two here. Yeah. So not a huge difference, 110. Well, actually, it is a significant difference. 70.8 versus 110.4 is significant, whereas the Scythe is much closer in terms of the performance of the Kingwin. But again, yeah, not surprising. The rise mode and MSI are also in the first quartile, and it looks like the SiLenx has snuck into the third quartile. All right, so that's not bad for the SiLenx. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over so you can also see the RPM. So for those of you who are trying to figure out correlations and causations between these 3 different specifications, you'll be able to do that. For those of you who are looking for the best airflow fans, which are great for exhaust, and if they have high static pressure as well, which is not I have not tested yet, then they will also be great for intake. If they have high static pressure but low airflow, then they're best on intake only. So I'm going to go through this slowly so you can see if the fan you're interested in is worth buying for exhaust, and then anything else you may be wanting to know. Hopefully you find what you're looking for today. I still have probably 3 dozen more, not including the ones I haven't reviewed yet, to go through with reviews and stuff. I still have more LED light comparisons to do. So we're almost to the end here. And you can pause at any time if you didn't realize that. Sometimes I forget I can pause when I'm looking at videos. And that is the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.